Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Rooftop Perspectives. I woke up today very, very intense. And I'm going to blame somebody for that. I'm going to blame positively Angela for that in one regard, and Sister J in another regard. And the words that they shared with me in the last 24 hours, it has me fired up. They tuned me up. They righteously turned me out. They got me buzzing. And I'm like a buzzsaw cutting through so many things in front of me. And I'm going to maintain that. I'm not going to burn out. But I've learned so much about myself, especially with the show that we did, that Positively Angela had last night, The Widow and the Oil. You need to listen to that. Anyway, I am so focused and fine-tuned. It's like a late model car that needed a tune-up, but it drove fine to you. But then you realize that this thing is running better after the actual tune-up, you see? So we all need to be tuned up every now and then and on a regular basis. And in order to do that, we have to have a clear mind. We already have to know what our goals are, but we make our goals a little bit more difficult to get to because we get blurred by the clouds that are not always good. Clouds can be good when we need rain, but when you're flying through the clouds and your electronic system that runs the plane automatically may not be working good, you have to depend on who's talking to you from that tower. And we have a divine voice inside of us that talks to us from that tower. That's why we don't have to really depend on man-made things, because we have a divine GPS that helps us to navigate these shark-infested waters or fly high. Let me ask you a question, right? Okay, you can see a little bit of the sky, right? I always put the rooftop perspectives in. Sometimes you can't see it, but you know wherever you are in this world that there is some sky. What is between you and the sky? Just take a moment. If you're inside, you already know what I'm saying. If you don't know, go outside and look. And don't tell me clouds. Look up. What do you see? You don't see anything between you and the sky. And oftentimes they say that the sky is a limit. But even so, the sky is not the limit. You can go beyond this atmosphere, beyond this stratosphere. You can go beyond the gravitational pull of this planet. It's been proven. And on a spiritual level, you can do that also. When a plane taxis down the runway is clear, isn't it? And so it gets to a point where it begins to take lift and go over what's on the land, and you look down and you see how small and minuscule the buildings are and the houses are, your neighborhood is. You say, wow, look at that. My whole mind was just in that one apartment. My whole mind was just in that one area, that one little community, and my mind didn't go beyond that. And you begin to have this realization that the world is bigger than your small world. I'm not saying that to put you down. I'm just saying that some of our worlds are smaller and some of our worlds are bigger. And most of us and some of us have an expanded view of the world. Some people, all they can do is sit down on their front steps and look out whoever walks by. When nobody walks by, they're bored now. You see? Some of us have a mind that embraces the entire planet and beyond, and not just what's on the physical planet, but on the spiritual realm, on the cerebral realm, on the mental realm. There's so many realms that we can travel. It's like an amusement park to me when I wake up. There's so many things to see and vibe with, to motivate with. But how are you going to enjoy the movie that's in front of you when somebody's standing up in front of you and blocks your view? How are you going to fly high when you have too much dead cargo in your plane? You know, when you fuel up a plane, they know how far that fuel can take the plane. But if it didn't anticipate the cargo load that you put over the limit of what the plane can handle, that reading is not going to be proper. And so the fuel you have may not be sufficient to get to landfall where you're trying to go. So what does that tell you? Some of that cargo is going to have to go. Lots of times it does you the favor and jumps out on its own and saves you the favor of having to deal with that toxic situation, right? That's a divine blessing. But when you get rid of all the excess glow, you will glow when you get rid of the excess cargo. So when I make mistakes, sometimes there's a Freudian slip where there's some truth in there. You do glow. When you get rid of that deadbeat man in your life, you do glow. When your financial situation is improved, not because of a lottery ticket, but because you faced it head on and made a budget and disciplined yourself and learned to live frugal, you will have a glow. With this light on me, I have a glow that attracts the mosquitoes to my bald head. That's just nature. That's just what happens. But if you don't have that glow that comes from within, that means you're doing something not too proper on the outside. I don't mean the outside down the block, around the corner, or blaming somebody. The outside of what's inside of you. Your shutters are open. When you see a rainstorm coming, do you go to the windows and open up all the windows? Or you're going to have nothing but a flood inside of your house. You close the windows when you see the storm coming. But how many of us see toxic entities coming to us in our life and we just open up the windows and just come right on in? Rain is good when it's watering the plants. Rain is good when it's washing off the roof of your house. Rain is good for the atmosphere. But rain can sometimes not be good if you leave the windows open and it damages the furniture and damages the items that you have on the inside. So things that can be good for certain situations may be bad. You know, we go to the bathroom and we know what we do when we sit down or when we stand up, some of us, right? But that same thing that we say, oh, it's so terrible, and we flush it down, it's the same thing that we go to these home improvement centers and purchase. We make dung for free, but we go to the market and purchase it for our plants. So even dung has a purpose. So those things you don't have in your house to say, well, it has a purpose and it's a good thing, let's just have a bucket of it sitting in the living room, because your visitors and your guests won't stay too long. But if you collect it or put it somewhere where you can shovel it at the base of your plants, and because of the nitrogen contained inside the dung that feeds the plant that you eat. You understand? It's cyclical. Life is cyclical. It's a process and it's cyclical. So if you add something to the process of improving your life and it's not good for you, it's going to slow you down. If you pour sugar in the tank of your vehicle, it tastes sweet, it sweetens your tea, but it's not good for the engine. So how are you going to fly high when you don't have any goal? Every plane that leaves, unless it's a pleasurable local ride, has a destination of where it wants to go or where it plans to go. And it doesn't go off of that path and that journey. You don't, just to be nice, the pilot says, well, anybody want to fly the plane? Just get on behind and just, take it where you want to go. You'll never get anywhere. Why are you leaving your life open so much that you're allowing these entities and these strange pilots to guide your plane? And when you land in a country that you didn't want to go to, now you want to be angry? When you don't have the results that you thought you were going to have, you just can't let everybody jump on in. It's got to be kept airtight. And there's some people who are so bedazzled by words or a connection that they have with them because of a traumatic event. People trauma bond. People sometimes have the same cultures. That's nice. People come from different countries and come from the same country. It doesn't mean that because you have one thing in common that you're going to be the same down to the bone. You have cars, you have different breeds of vehicles, Toyotas and Fords and Audis and Mercedes and Jaguars. You have certified factory parts that are made for that car or that particular vehicle when you repair it. Many of us are using parts that are not directly from the factory. They're made by a third-party entity, and when you hold both of them up, they look the same, but they don't perform the same. Why are you letting third-party entities into your life that don't have the same vibration, that don't seek the same destination, and you get bad feelings, but when you get to the point of having your life hell-bent and out of shape, can you blame anybody but yourself? Because you use these inferior parts. Yes, I said inferior. The word inferior is in the dictionary for a reason. It means less than. It means it can't keep up to standard. You can't be nice and let inferior entities in your life with a low vibration in your life and expect pristine, powerful results. Because number one, anything that is low vibrational, anything that is just floating around and looking to hitch onto your energy, you ask these people. And I feel like going out in the street and asking these people, quick, I'm going to say, listen, quick, answer this question. What are your goals? Tell me your goals in 2 months. Tell me your goal in 1 month. Tell me your goal in a week. Tell me your goal in 6 months, a year, 5 years from now. Tell me where you see yourself along the path. And they're going to tell you some fabulous projections. And then if you ask them in reverse, what were your goals 5 years ago? What were your goals 3 years ago, 1 year ago? What were your goals 1 month ago? And they probably can't even tell you. And if they tell you what those goals were, well, did you reach those goals? Now, we're in the present now. We can't lie about the present. We can lie to somebody about what we say we want to do for the future, but you can't lie about the present. So you don't want to get caught up in this traffic jam of slothfulness, this traffic jam of laziness, this traffic jam of procrastination. You want to do like that plane on the runway, and they're down here, and they're staying in their one toxic space, and you flying right on over them. But make sure not to carry the toxic dead cargo. Make sure that everybody on your crew is on one accord and is a proven product. A proven product, not just on what they say. If I say I'm an artist, that means I can prove to you that I do art, my style of art. Go to Lancescurv.com, look on the art section, or go to inkgasms.com and see what I do. If I say I write, I have hundreds of articles that I've written over the years. I can prove that. If I say I'm going to write a book, trust and believe I'm going to do it. Now that I have lots of luxury seating space on my plane, because I dumped out a lot of cargo. And it's a beautiful thing. I can see clearly now the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way, or rather, all obstacles that were in my way. Because what good is it to fill a bucket up with water and there's holes in it where the water's coming out? And you have people around you watching you do this, and they don't say, hey, you got a hole. They just sit there and watch the water come out, and they giggle amongst themselves. No, you can't have these kind of entities around you. And I'm going to tell you one thing. In these things that you hope to do or project to do, or you have committed to doing in this life, you better be prepared to walk alone. And you're going to find, like I'm going to say it the same way, or maybe a little different than Brother Julius said, who is a friend of one of my godmothers. He was a merchant seaman, and I said this story before. He had to be near 80 when he told me this in the early 90s. So I don't know if he's here with us right now in the physical, but I do know he's with me in the spiritual. And he happened to walk in on one of my festivities, or one of my parties I used to throw, if you know my past life. And that didn't faze him. He said, oh, I dropped in unexpected. I didn't know you were having all this kind of fun. This kind of reminds me of the old days. But let me tell you something, my brother. He said, with all of these people that you have around you, you're going to take more joy as life goes on in being by yourself and walking by yourself. It doesn't mean you have to be a hermit. It just means that most of the people around you really don't mean you any good. And most of the people around you don't even know where they want to go and what their goals are. They're just as lost. But we pretend to have it together. And we waste so much energy. It takes more energy keeping up the facade than chipping it down in the midnight hour and looking ourselves in the mirror and saying, you know what? This is what I've become, but this is not what I am. And the reason why I can't move on is because I've become my own toxic, deadly, deadbeat, deadweight cargo. So there's certain things in your personality and in your essence that you're going to have to adjust. It's not always the next person like we like to blame. But I say the same thing. As you move through this life, it's almost like those vehicles that get better and better and better because they have less wind resistance, and they put them in the wind tunnel. And they say, okay, with this 2024 Honda that we have coming out, or Lamborghini, or whatever it may be, we've tweaked certain things about the body so that when it's going at high speeds, the wind doesn't slow it down, as opposed to a big, tall UPS truck or a FedEx truck on a windy day over the bridge and it's moving and it's fighting the wind. Sometimes you want the wind to hit you, to take you where you have to go, if you're a sailboat. But a sports car ain't a sailboat. And you don't have to be like the sailboat to depend on the energy coming from somebody else. It comes from within. So you want to cut through the wind of gossip. You want to cut through the wind of jealousy. You want to cut through the wind of procrastination. You want to cut through the wind of people telling you you don't need to do what you do anymore because they don't like what you do and they want to see you stop it because they see your greatness and how you've committed to it and they have nothing to do. I've had it told to me, well, you need to not put up so many videos and make them miss you sometime. We got billions of people on the earth. Why am I going to slow down for a handful when I have so many billions and so many countries all over the world to talk to? What's the motivation behind that? Because you don't want to see something good happen. You don't want to see me reach my goals. That's that envy. That's what you have to cut through. So we have to be on a different level now. We have to see things that we couldn't see before around us and get rid of it. And the more you clean up that windshield that you're looking through and it's not blocked, is the more you can see. And the more you get rid of the cargo that's on your plane, is the higher you can go. You will land to your next goal and have excess energy and excess fuel. You won't be drained. You'll be motivated all day because you're doing something right. Anyway, I'm going to end it on a high energy level. I just want to say salute to my brothers. Much love to my sisters. It's not a crime to have a tighter and tighter and tighter circle. You'll fly higher. And I hope you got something out of these words. That's the energy that I'm feeling right now. And I'm feeling so electric. We are electric beings. But how you're going to be electric beings when you're putting down bad food? How you're going to really be spiritual when you're on a physical level and you can't stand your brother, or you're covered in what they have or what they have on the inside, or you see where they're going and you don't know where you're going. If you can't tell me where you're going, I don't want to be around you because you're confused and you have work to do. And if you lived a certain amount of decades in this world, why don't you know? And if you don't know, go sit down somewhere and get your nose out of other people's business. I'm going to keep talking like this whether you like it or not, because some people don't like it. They come on and peek and see it. Damn, Lance, he made it to the next goal. No matter how much stuff I threw at him, no matter how many storms I threw at him, his plane kept flying and going higher, and it landed triumphantly to its goal of reaching the promised land. How many times we know people that just wait around when I hit that lotto? Oh, it'll be the answer to all my problems if I get with that man over there. Oh, if I had a woman like that. All these external things. What happened to you? What happened to you? See, when cars are on a racetrack and racing, they're not really racing against each other. They're racing against themselves to be more efficient in how fast they can go. Because when the winner goes on the track with a vehicle that's perfectly tuned, they pretty much know if they're going to win or not. Because they know how fast the vehicle can go. So it's up to the driver to remain focused and execute what it knows to do. But you can't do this in an atmosphere of confusion, an atmosphere of competitiveness. An atmosphere where you know the people don't dig you too tough. If you notice that I have not called you and I do not come around you, that means I don't want to be bothered with you. I don't mean certain people that are in my circle that we just haven't talked to each other. I mean people who swear up and down. This man makes a point of not even being around us. That shows you that I'm saying, kiss my ass. Because I know the energy that you have and what it will do for me. I don't care if the other one next to me, to the right, to the left, to the bottom, you can influence and dupe them. I'm making a hell of a statement by staying away from certain energies. And if you feel chastised about that, maybe you have too much time on your hand, because I know I don't have enough time in the day because there's so much I want to do. And if you got time to watch me and make phone calls and he ain't come, I ain't see him, because I don't want to be around you. As you can see, I'm doing the damn thing. As you see, I'm putting in the work of what I'm put here to do. What are you supposed to be doing right now with your life? And it doesn't mean you are supposed to retire. See, by the job I had, I am retired. And I'm not going to apologize because for the monthly check they send to me. I earn that. But positivity never retires. Positivity never retires. Positive energy doesn't stop. Understand that. So why are you sitting on your ass exuding negative energy and negative attributes that are there only to clog up somebody else's life? And you take joy in that because you're a miserable soul and you ain't got no goddamn life yourself. Excuse me. I'm fired up. And I'm always going to be fired up. And if I ain't fired up, there's something wrong with me. The body gets tired and I will rest. But the energy and the positive energy never retires. And that's where you have to be. We can make great progress in the time that we have, which is an artificial construct, but we have to jump to that beat while we're in this man-made world. But when you get out of the man-made world, you can be in it, but not of it. You can be in this world, but not of this world, because this world is artificially engineered. I'm in my own world and zone of peace. And this is how things can flow out of me. You didn't see me look down and let me read this. My name is Lancescurv. No, it flowed. I knew kind of what I was going to talk about, but I said, let me get up there because I'm feeling it. I don't come up here for games. If something is on my heart, I'm going to talk it. I don't care who don't like it. I'm instructed to do that because I'm going higher, because the cargo, unnecessary, toxic, deadbeat cargo is, and I got some more to get off and get away from me. And it's going to make me better. And the negative energy you speak into existence for me is better for me because I can convert the energy, whether it's positive, I don't have to convert that. But then when you throw the negative energy at me, it inspires me. You inspire me with your negativity, so that's got to make you hurt even more. I can take this and take that and still move forward. And I have this in check. No one except my Creator has any space in this head. I'm not sitting here in 2022 mad at what happened to me back in 1983 and mad about what happened to me in 1977 and oh, this one don't like me and this one, I don't care. I have, I've been put through the wind tunnel and there's no drag on me. I'm not the UPS truck driving around on a windy day and gotta go slow. By the time you think about touching me, I'm gone. Even if I'm physically sitting still, my mind is full of books. My mind is full of artwork. My mind is full of creativity that I have got to come out with. I don't have time to sit here and stop that zone and go to something low vibrational. And when I do rest, and I don't know if I rest, I think I'm a machine sometimes. I think I idle like a car that's in park and you leave it on because I'm ready to put it in gear and go on because everything for me is clear. There's nothing blocking me in the sky. Nobody can stop me from going higher. I realized something today that I can do so easy. And I was thinking of ways to doing it, and I can do it on my own. And I'm so excited about this. I'm not even going to say what it is. People start burning candles. Oh, stop lands. Oh, this and that. Oh, let me do this. And that stuff can't bother me anyway. I'm a doer, and I'm a person who's connected. I'm a creator. I'm not saying I'm the creator. I am a creator. And there's no, how could I say it? There's nothing in the occult that can stop me. You see, if there's a tree over there and it can get its sunlight and it can get its rain and it's in good soil, you can hocus pocus the tree all you want. It's not going to stop from growing. Now, maybe you can go chop it down. That's another thing. I ain't going to let you chop me down. I'm going to bust you in your face. So all these other things that people put their mind to out of ignorance doesn't do anything, because if it did, we as a people wouldn't be in a jacked up position that we're in right now. But we do things to each other and think we're doing something. That's the ultimate in madness as far as I'm concerned. Because what has it done for you? Prove to me what it has done for you. Going against somebody else, and our God has a purpose for that someone else, and you going after them, that means you're an enemy with my Creator. That's what you are. Whip the Creator. Maybe you can whip me physically and knock a 2x4 over my head and put a bullet in my foot, but you can't stop my Creator. And as long as I'm connected to that, while I'm up here looking at the sky, resonating with what is inside of me, ain't no stopping us now. Anyway, let me end it right here. I'm going to take a bike ride in a little while. I'm going to record something and eat something again. It's dark, but it's still early evening, and I have so much to do. When I do take my walk, good things are going to happen. I'm going to continue to meet good people. I might bring my microphone with me. I don't know what I'll bring. I'm going to bring something and have something to bring back to you. It's wide open. Like when they have a race or they have a heavyweight a championship that's up for grabs and they don't know who's better, they say, man, this thing is wide open. We don't know who. What? There's so much to gain. There's so much to attain. There's so much to vibe with on so many higher levels. I want to go higher, 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 higher. Until I'm not even here no more. I'll be vibrating so much that when I'm transitioning, I could be standing next to you and you won't even know because I'm so efficient with what I'm doing. I've taken flight already on my runway. And there are those who are on the ground who want to reach up and see if they can grab one of the wheels of my plane and pull me down, but it's too late. I know who you are. I've always known who you are for a long time. I ain't say nothing. But you see, when you say 2, 4, 6, 8, you know 10 is coming. So you already see my trajectory. Just give it up. It ain't gonna work. You ain't gonna stop me. Another one gone while you sit there to not activate the seeds of greatness that are inside of you. If you do, we cool. If not, bye-bye. Anyway, much love to you all. Lancescurv out. On to the next one. Peace.